Hi and welcome to this tutorial on inserting all sorts of things into Word document. So for just inserting regular objects, you've been using this tree structure here and mainly using insert objects. You can of course also do that for old revisions, but the important thing now that we're going to look at is the rest of the buttons here. We can insert content of a snapshot, we can insert a revision history. We're going to do that in a separate tutorial though, and today we're going to look at inserting results from a query, from charts, and from maybe the DFH index, product information, test runs, risk analysis, summaries, and trace tables. So I'm just going to get going from the beginning. And we're going to start with doing an insertion of a query. So here you can just select the query, but now you have the option as well to say how you want to insert it. As a table, that's the default. That's basically what you get as a query result, and it looks like this. So we only had one entry returned from this one, but if I would insert the same one as a document object, it would actually use the normal templating for user needs and include that document in that content into the document. Now there's quite a difference now in how synchronizing is working, because synchronizing these contents will actually run the query again and return the data that responds to the query filter. So it could be that next time you have different user needs appearing here. But that's the beauty of using queries, right? And if I continue going through the toolbar here, I can of course also insert charts. Currently we have 3 different charts. I'm going to pick one just for fun. Even though it in a document looks like an image, if I would synchronize the chart, it would refetch the data and you would have an updated image, of course. That's also live. None of these queries or charts can be modified in the document and synchronized back. So it's always from the product database to the document as such. It's not really editable within the document. And the same thing, of course, goes for trace tables. I'm going to do trace table here, design input requirements to design output. You can do any that you want. You can either use the insert mode from the database. That means take everything that we have. Or you can limit the result as well by using a query, or you can limit the result by only using input objects from that document that you're currently working with. We have no real objects in this document, so I'm just going to start with doing database, and we get a nice traceability table here for that. The last option for trace tables was to insert this information based on a snapshot. Then it depends on all of the items in the first column being part of a specific snapshot. But that would also give you historical information. So it would be traceability at the time of the creation of that snapshot. Once again, synchronizing a trace table will rerun the trace table and get the most up-to-date version of it. But if you insert it from a snapshot, that data is of course never going to change, so that would always remain as you see it in the document, even if you do synchronize. Now we can continue and go through all of the different ways of inserting data here. We can insert a test run from aligned elements, and it will depict itself according to the template that we have in place, and we'll get an overview of all the test cases, if they passed or failed, if they have any additional issues and things like that. And you can of course also do the same thing for any review protocol. Now reviews are still found in this part of the tree, so here you would actually use the regular insert object function for doing the reviews. They will neatly display themselves in the document. We have the risk summary, of course. The risk summary, we can decide if we want to display it when measures are applied or without measures applied. But I'm going to go with the end version of it. And here you can also choose if you want to have everything from the project or limit it by a query. I'm just going to go from the project here. If we want to also include the content of a snapshot, we can do so. Going to place the cursor somewhere after this, and then you can select the snapshot, and you will have all the objects in that snapshots included into the document. Snapshots, of course, they never change, so there's no need to synchronize those. They will always remain the same revisions.